Thank you, Scott. And we have an update in the wildfire we told you about today in Johnson County. The U.S. Forestry Services say as of 6 p.m., the wildfire up near Sally Ann Hollow is 100% contained. The U.S. Forest Service says the fire started yesterday on private property and quickly spread to 340 acres. The Forest Service says crews will remain in mop-up and patrol status for the rest of the week, checking for any hot spots that could threaten fire lines. The Arkansas Department of Health says the state is seeing the highest levels of whooping cough cases in the last 15 years. 5 News reporter Lauren Spencer joins us now. She spoke with doctors about why cases are rising and what families can do to stay healthy. Lauren?
Yeah, whooping cough, an illness many people may think is rare, is surging in Arkansas and across the country. ADH has been routinely tracking whooping cough for the last 15 years. And so far this year, more than 500 cases have been reported.
All of them in school. I work for a school district, and yeah, we haven't caught anything yet.
This respiratory illness season hasn't quite hit Rachel McIntosh's home.
Got to make sure we stay healthy, get some vitamin D, get outside at least 15 minutes a day. Vitamins.
I even told Ricky yesterday, though, when I took her out.
We do have some precautions that we take.
For families across Arkansas, whooping cough has already had an impact. The Arkansas Department of Health says more than 50 counties have reported at least one case this year.
You start off with just kind of a regular cough, right? And then over the next week or so, it becomes, these really bad coughing fits.
Health officials say the cases have been increasing at both the state and national level. In Arkansas, there were fewer than 40 cases in 2023. In 2024, that number jumped to nearly 400. So why the spike? Doctors say better recognition, waning immunity, and improved reporting all play a role. Infants are some of the most vulnerable.
They have a harder time catching their breaths in between coughs, and it causes them to essentially, pass out. They lose color.
Most cases this year are among school-aged children and teens, where immunity can wear off over time.
Unfortunately, the longer we go between doses of vaccine, the more likely we are to be susceptible to the infection.
And because early symptoms can look like a common cold, doctors say it's important to look for signs and see a physician if necessary.
It's always a good idea if a baby has cough, fever, otherwise being sick, fussy, not taking bottles or not feeding.
This year, at least 50 people in Arkansas have been hospitalized due to whooping cough, and more than 60% of those hospitalized were infants under 1 year old. Doctors recommend staying up to date on your vaccines, washing your hands, and covering coughs and sneezes to prevent the spread. Lauren Spencer, 5 News.
Thanks, Lauren. And that's not the only disease on the rise. Flu season is kicking in nationwide. According to the CDC, 7.5 million flu cases have been reported as of December 20th. That's resulted in 81,000 hospitalizations and 3,100 deaths. According to the last released Arkansas Department of Health Respiratory Disease Report, the state is in a very high intensity level for influenza-like illnesses, or ILLs. The CDC says more than half of the states are reporting the same thing. Well, new tonight, we've learned an inmate has died at the Cummins Unit Prison in Gold, Arkansas. The Arkansas Department of Corrections says an accident involving a piece of machinery happened Sunday. They say Internal Affairs is now investigating. No foul play is suspected at this time. We'll keep you updated with any new details on air and on our website, 5newsonline.com. A bond has been set for the man accused of shooting another man this weekend in Bentonville. Police identified Rolando Rodriguez Torres as the suspect. Today, a judge set his bond at $1 million. He faces several charges, including attempted capital murder, according to court documents. Investigators say Torres fired at the driver's side door of a vehicle 15 times, hitting the victim twice. Prosecutors say the high bond was likely set for a number of reasons, including potential priors.
According to the affidavit, there had been multiple prior interventions by law enforcement regarding these victims, prior criminal charges, and things that you would hope would sort of discourage somebody from continuing this kind of thing, and we still ended up here.
Rodriguez Torres will be back in court for an arraignment in early February. Looking ahead to tomorrow night, the world will ring in 2026. But here at home, the burn bans are breaking up some plans to pop fireworks. Bigger cities like Fayetteville, Bentonville, Rogers, and Fort Smith always ban fireworks on this holiday, but the ban is forcing some cities like Centerton, that usually allow them, to prohibit them this year. If your city allows fireworks or you plan to celebrate after the burn bans are lifted, we talked to a fireworks stand owner who gave some safety tips.
Let those things sit, soak them with water when you're done. Even the hot sparklers and stuff, it's always a good idea not to throw those in your trash can, just leave them out or throw them in a bucket of water when you're done. But fire safety is very important.
You can find a full list of city's fireworks policies, and you can also keep track of the county burn bans on our website, 5newsonline.com. But those bans are not stopping some of the major local celebrations. Fort Smith's Ball Drop on Garrison is back tomorrow night after last year's event was canceled. The free event will feature a live performance, food trucks, and more for the whole family. Some road closures to note, though. Garrison will be closed between 7th and 9th Street, and 8th Street will be blocked at A Street.
Everything starts at 8. The streets close around 7, so if you need parking, park on Rogers or any of the lots around, and just come out and have a great time.
And of course, Mayor McGill will count us down to midnight with the 10-foot drop. We've got also a list of some of the other New Year's celebrations happening across the region. You can find it by texting NYE or New Year to the number there on your screen, 479-785-5000, and we'll send you the link to that full list. Well, over $200 million in federal funding will be distributed to rural hospitals in Arkansas after the state was awarded the money from the Trump administration's Rural Health Transformation Program. All 50 states will share $10 billion in funds. They're aiming to offset budget cuts in rural health care. The governor's office announced earlier this year the funding will be allocated in multiple initiatives, including improving telehealth monitoring and strengthening the rural health care workforce. Well, Hot Springs is a weekend getaway destination for many Arkansans, but new parking meters downtown have Spa City business owners asking for a break. Tanya Motorsitsky looks into their complaints about free spots for their employees and whether they'll ever open up.
Every year, people around the world visit Hot Springs for its history in horse racing. People like Angela Rodriguez and her family.
We are from Mexico. We are just here for vacations, for fun.
But the people who work downtown say they're paying the price.
I have people that come in all the time and they're like, oh, we have to hurry up. Our meter's about ready to be up. We're going to get fined. And that kills our business.
While tourists like Rodriguez don't mind paying, manager of It's About Rocks, Rebecca King, says the parking meters added by the city about a year ago are deterring locals from coming downtown. And that's hitting businesses like King's hard.
A few thousand a month.
But it's not just revenue they're losing.
I work 13-hour shifts and then I work 10-hour shifts. And, you know, you're sitting there and you're like a quarter an hour. Well, add up a quarter an hour when you're working 50 plus hours a week and see how fast it can add up. Then multiply it by the amount of staff members you have and see how much more that also takes a toll on the business.
While downtown employees have to pay for parking, they do get a 75% discount in certain areas. If they don't want to pay, workers have to find the nearest free spot, which could be hard to find and far from their destination. King says that then creates a safety concern.
This is where we can actually park for free.
And how we just walked, you would say about 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
And if you look around, well, there's no lights back here, but there's a spotlight in the front. Well, there's tape on it. That doesn't work. Never mind.
Hot Springs Board of Directors Dudley Webb says the goal for the meters has always been to bring in revenue to build a parking garage to hopefully alleviate some of those concerns. But there's been a bump in the road.
What should have been after a year, we should have netted somewhere around $1.5 million. And we're going to be lucky if we just hit 600,000. So I don't think the path that we're on is going to get us to where we need to go to put a parking garage.
He knows businesses are hurting and says if his colleagues with the city can't come up with a plan to fix it,
that if we can't get it right, let's just do away with it.
Whether the city taps the brakes or puts the meters in park remains to be seen.
Even though this is tourist driven?
Exactly.